What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Heralds of Small Show. As always, coming to you guys after Monday Night Football. I'm joined with my amazing host over there, looking great today. His hair is looking great, beard is looking great, jersey looks great on him, glasses look good on him today, skin looks great, and he always looks great. How you doing today, man?
He only saying all that shit because I just told him I was shaving everything after Christmas. So he want me to keep it. But I'm doing all right, man. Recently, I don't know what's going on with me, but like I've been in kind of a funk where I just do the same shit every day, and it's not like
I know what you
a
mean.
good thing for me. Like
Yeah, you kind of feel
I'm
like
staying up too
stuck.
late. I'm staying up too late, so I'm taking naps after work, accidental. Like I don't even mean to do it. I find myself in bed, waking up 2 hours later, and it's like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
how the hell did that just happen?
Yeah, no, I feel
But
you.
so I got to stop myself from doing that because after a while it starts to get to me mentally. But I don't want to let that happen
Yeah,
again.
no, it feels like you're stuck in a routine. That's why I left my last job. It was just felt like I was just doing the same thing every day. Like waking up, it was just rinse and repeat. I was living the same day over and over again. So I just left my last job a couple of years ago because I felt the same way. I just couldn't do it anymore. I just needed something new. But so I definitely get you.
Other than that, though, I'm doing all right. I noticed tonight that I don't like Monday Night Football. Like Thursday night's cool because we get it beforehand.
Uh huh.
Just get them out the way on Sunday. Come Monday, I just don't care about these games, even if it's a good game.
I think we need Friday night football.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, not even Saturdays. I think we just what? I did you not just say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Is that not what you said?
There will forever be football on Saturdays.
Okay, but I mean like NFL, not college. I mean NFL football. But like I've known people talking about like because there was a couple years back when like they had a game delayed and they put a game on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something, and people were liking it, and I kind of liked it too. So I think we need another day where there's just one off game on, and I think it should be Fridays or something like that.
I just don't like Monday Night Football.
Is it just because like you have other plans going on and you have to watch it because of this, or like
No, I don't. I don't know why. I genuinely couldn't give you a reason. It's like I feel like I love football obviously, and I watch it a good amount on set. I watch some college football, and then I watch all Sunday, and come Monday, it's like
you
I
kind
get
of
off
just
work and I
had
just
enough? I've
want
had
to do
enough for
something
the
else.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I haven't felt that way. I wouldn't say. I kind of like Monday Night Football. I love they're probably my favorite broadcast duo in the NFL. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Their chemistry. I love them together. So I don't know. I like Monday Monday Football.
Equipment's good. I can say that Tom Brady is getting better week after week, and
Yeah,
Kevin
I
Burkhardt
was
is
gonna ask
awesome.
about the Brady update because you bring him up every week. You know, you ask me how I was liking Brady this week. You give your opinions on him, but you say he's getting better, huh?
I genuinely think Greg Olson is my favorite though.
I love Greg Olson so much. I was so upset they got rid of him and Kevin Burkhardt. They were so good together. But yeah, I
I
love
want.
Greg Olson as well.
I know RG3 had his little analyst job for a while, and they're bringing him back for the Christmas special. I think he should just become a commentator. I love RG3 talking, dude.
Also, who I like, there's two Monday Night Football games next week, so they'll probably be doing the other one. I like when like Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky, like I love listening to Dan Orlovsky
Dan
and
Orlovsky's
Ryan.
smart,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love listening to him and Ryan Clark as well. But they're not really commentating much. They're just more so like analysts on like just your daytime TV. But like when they called like the Monday Night Football games when there's two, I enjoy those as well.
Say you're getting paid this exact same. Would you rather be an analyst or a commentator?
An analyst for sure. Because the commentators like you gotta be good. You gotta be good right on the spot. There's no, if you're an analyst, it's like it could be
But you're
pre-taped. It could
talking
be
all week as an analyst.
yeah, but
Commentator,
as
you
a
got one
commentator,
job.
you can make or break the game for someone.
That's
If
true.
you have there's a game winning touchdown and you're not lively enough, you could just ruin the moment. So
I
uh,
saw the clip of Derrick Henry taking it like 90 yards, stiff arming the whole team, and then the commentator was like, "Wow, that's spectacular."
yeah,
And
like Al Michaels on Thursday Night Football. I don't want to be that. Or when in Madden when you're running, you break off a 99 yarder and it's just silent.
he just stops talking after the 30.
Exactly. But
I know you don't be breaking those off though, because you weak as hell at Madden, dog. But before you try to move
I
on, let
have
me ask.
Madden if you want to play. I have Madden.
I don't.
If you want to,
I don't know if you've ever beaten me.
That is not true. That is not true. That is just not a true statement in the slightest. In the slightest. But go ahead. Before we move on, what?
You always try to move on before I can ask you. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Got off of work as always on Mondays, but I'm doing alright. Nothing much to talk about.
For anyone interested, this game ended 2 hours ago.
I hit a new low in my, because I've been losing weight. I've been working out. I hit a new low today. I woke up because I usually check every morning when I wake up. Hit a new low today. So in total, I think I'm down 51 pounds.
Yeah. Damn! Shout out to you, man.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Do you have an end goal, or are you just?
No, see, I started back in June, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start, see where this leads. And I was like, now that I'm in the, like, I don't want to put a goal on a cap on myself to where it's like, I hit right now I'm 231, so I don't want to say, oh, I hit 220 and then I'm all right, I'm good, I'm done, So I'm just gonna keep on going, see where it takes me. I don't have a goal for now.
Good for you. That's how it should be. Just trying to make yourself feel healthier.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I can't. So anybody out there who doesn't know, I'm ready to buy a house on my own, and the main part of that is because I want to build a home gym, and I cannot wait, dude. It's like itching at me. I just want to come home from work and be able to just like go into that room and just vibe for like an hour.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like sometimes I just don't feel like getting up and going to the gym, but I always tell myself I've never once went to the gym and like been like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have went. But there's been plenty of times where it's like, oh fuck, I didn't go, and it's like, fuck, I should have went. So I was
You're a serial killer though, because you be going at 4 a.m. That's just
what I like to go. Yeah, after we record, I'm going tonight after we finish this and I make the timestamps and all that. I'm gonna go. But it's just like, yeah, I would definitely love to have a home gym to where it's like I don't have to leave the house. 'Cause I feel like that's the biggest thing when it comes to a lot of people. They just don't want to leave the house and go out there. And you don't have to worry about other people. If you're self-conscious.
Gym anxiety is real,
exactly.
man. I have it. I've gone to the gym several times, and it's like you said, you always feel better, but just getting yourself through the door is the hard part for some people.
Yeah. So I get that. Like in your case, if you have that gym anxiety, I can understand, having the gym at home. But before we get too far, be sure to, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Show some love on the TikTok. Smallz is doing his thing over there, even though he didn't say fuck that app. But now show some love over there. Drop a comment. We love.
Smallz is not doing his thing. He has heavily been slacking, and I vow to get back into it this week. The shorts will continue this week. I'm gonna try to get our growth continuing again. Come off season, we'll be making a Twitter account. What else was I slacking on? There was one other thing. Oh! Nobody else gives a damn, but I will be getting into WWE again. I will be watching this week's Raw.
Hell yeah.
I slacked because I wasn't home, and then I didn't want to go back and watch Survivor Series, but I saw everything that happened, and it's like, when do I get...
I was telling you after Monday night, I haven't watched this week's yet, because I'm going to watch it after the gym and all that. Last week's episode was so good. The New Day turning on Biggie. Bro, I'm not even a huge New Day guy, but
I saw that segment.
Damn near brought a tear to my fucking eye. The whole CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre back at the end. It was a great episode, so I would love for you to lock back in.
New Day is my favorite faction of all time. I have a shirt of the New Day.
Yeah, it was an amazing segment. I felt so bad for Big E, man. But it hurt me. But getting into football,
before we get into football,
go ahead.
Just a quick PSA, public service announcement. I said it a couple episodes ago. If you haven't, I can't express enough how fucking amazing Breaking Bad is. For anybody out there who hasn't watched it, my 3 favorite shows of all time are Prison Break, The Walking Dead, and Lost, in no particular order. But Breaking Bad is chasing one of those. There's a good chance it enters that top 3, dude. And Sujap, I know you're watching. Shout out our boy. I just saw I don't want to spoil it for anybody who goes and watches it, but I just saw the part where Tuco's 2 cousins, they get into that shootout in the parking lot. and homie go to the hospital. You acting like you give a damn, but we know you're not gonna watch because you fake. But
Wow.
the show's awesome, Suj.
Okay.
Get into football.
So, a few weeks back, I think around week 10-ish, we drafted playoff teams. I don't know if you remember. We drafted playoff teams. So I went back. It's been about 4 weeks. I went back and calculated how we're doing so far. Because
I've been keeping the tally on them.
Just fuck me, huh? Just fuck me.
No, you can go into it. I just
okay, but I just wanted to go through some of our better picks that are looking really good right now, and some of our picks that are looking not so good. And I had to wait till Monday Night Football because one of us had I had the Bengals, so I wanted to see what they did before I got the final tally. So you had the Ravens. You picked the Ravens with your number 1 overall pick.
101.
They've only gotten you one win so far, so it's not looking too hot. But you followed up with the Eagles, who are on like an 8-game win streak, so they have 4 wins out of 4 because the max they can have is 4 up to this point. You had the Vikings, who I hated on that pick, and they have 3.
No
wins.
surprise.
The Texans have 2. With one of your worst picks as well, the Commanders only have 1. It's also because they had a bye week in here, so it's like that's one less game for them. And the Cardinals have none. I didn't realize the Cardinals are on a 3-game losing streak. They have been piss poor. Kyler Murray, get it together. The Dolphins have 3 wins for you, and the Colts, I forgot you even drafted them, have 2.
Yep.
And then for me, my worst picks.
I've had a lot of buys and you haven't. That's
well, let me just start from the top. I took the Chiefs, who have had 3 wins since then. The Lions have won all 4. The Bills have won 2. The Niners have only won 1. The Steelers I took won 3. The Packers won 3. The Bengals just won on Monday Night Football. That's why I was waiting. So they have 1, and the Chargers have 2. So the total right now, with 4 weeks left of the season and all of the playoffs, the total is I'm at 19, Smallz is at 16. So pretty close race. And what I realized, a lot of my teams played each other. The Chiefs and Bills played each other.
Yeah, mine did too.
The Bills and Niners played each other. The Lions and Packers played each other. The Chargers and Chiefs played each other. So many of my teams play each other. It's crazy. And even going down the season, my teams, like the Steelers and Bengals still have a game. Steelers and Chargers have a game. Steelers and Chiefs have a game.
You miscounted somewhere. I have 17.
How do you have 17? Ravens got you 1.
Yep.
Eagles got you 4.
Yep.
Vikings got you 3.
Nope. 4.
When did we started this? Their first game should have been that November 17th game, right?
They beat the Titans, they beat the Bears, they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Falcons. They're on a 4 game. They've won all 4.
That their first game was November 17th? Like that first game you're counting?
I have no idea. It was week 11.
Let me go take a look. Because I even went back a couple times to make sure. If I messed up, that's on me. But I went back a couple times to make sure I didn't have any wrong.
We drafted it going into week 11.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. Good. Oh, bro, this shit is fucking pissing me off. I'm the same color as my fucking shirt. Really?
He gonna say for the fantasy format, Smallz could be cheating. I don't even check it.
Trying to cheat. I was not.
I do my due diligence.
I was not. Okay, so Smallz at 17. Sorry. Yeah, Texans 2, Commanders 1, Cardinals none, Dolphins 3, and Colts 2. Dolphins are probably looking like your best pick right now for where you got them.
I've had 5 buys. You've only had 2.
Yeah, that's what I was realizing. You had a lot of buys. And man, I was just knowing I drafted the fucking Broncos. I was looking. I was like, no way I didn't fucking draft them. I could have sworn I did, and they've been so good as of late. But all right, I just want
the Niners with their 4th pick.
You took the Ravens with your first pick, and my 4th had the same amount of wins. I don't want to hear shit from you. Yeah, right. Be angry. Be fucking angry.
And I'm still gonna beat you. The fuck? The fuck?
But into overreactions for week bro.
Oh, fix your lighting. Damn.
For week what week are we going into?
Well, it doesn't even know what week it is. 14.
Week 14. So This was kind of a weird week. I feel like there wasn't really much that moved or changed. The needle didn't move for many different teams. So I did what I could. But a team that looked very good this weekend against the Buffalo Bills, the Los Angeles Rams. You know, when they have their two guys in, they've been amazing. Puka Nacua fuck around be a top 5 fucking receiver in the league. He is playing his ass off. If the Rams get into the playoffs, they will at least reach the NFC Championship game. They gave the Lions a run for their money last season in the playoffs. They can compete with anybody if Matthew Stafford is on his game. All right, moving on. Fuck me.
Because if they end up so can they be the 7th seed in the wild card, or do they have to win the division?
They're only 1 game back of the Commanders.
Of the Commanders? Okay, so if they take 7 from the Commanders and the Seahawks stay at the top of their division, they get blown out by the Eagles. Blown out by the Eagles.
Blown out. I think
they get blown out by the Eagles.
If their offense comes to play, they can hang with anybody. Their defense is a problem. Other than their pass rush is pretty solid, but everywhere else on their defense is a problem. But if they can put up points and Matthew Stafford comes to play with those 2 receivers, they can put up points with anybody. With anyone. I don't know why you're making that face. With anyone.
I didn't even make a face. I'm just listening. Damn,
you're sitting there like this. Talking about you not making a face. But go ahead. Continue.
I think the Rams have a much like through the roof quality tier coach than the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Eagles just have more talent on the whole roster. But I do think that with the top 2 guys that the Rams have, they can put up points against anybody. They're like the Bengals, and the defense is so much better than what the Bengals have. But if they played the Packers or they played the Buccaneers or they played the Seahawks, I would say they could take any of those 3. I don't think they can beat the Vikings, and I don't think they can beat the Eagles.
What if somebody does it for them? Because the Eagles aren't. What if the Lions keep the 1 seed? What if somebody else knocks off the Eagles? Anything could happen. It's a one game. They
would play the Vikings or the Eagles,
but they don't have to beat the both of them. I think they can beat the Eagles. And if they
would, you're not understanding what I'm saying. They would play one of those 2 teams. I said I don't think they could beat either one of them.
But I think they can. If they get into a 1-game scenario with either one of those teams, say the wild card, I think they can beat one of those teams. And if somebody else along the road gets upset, like the Bucs get in and they upset somebody, I think they could obviously beat the Bucs, and they're right there in the NFC Championship game. And even if they do have to go on a tough road, I think they could compete with any team in the NFC. Not that they will beat. Not that I would pick them. I think they can compete with any team in the NFC. On their best.
Yeah, because they have a phenomenal offense. Kyron Williams is great. He's kind of inefficient, but he's great. Mm-hmm. Cooper and Puka are they the best 1-2 in the league? It's probably them and AJ Devontae. Maybe DK and JSN. I don't really like T. Higgins,
DK and JSN. You don't like T. Higgins? I was gonna mention them. Jamar and T. Higgins.
They're great. I just don't. I think if T. Higgins goes to the Patriots, he'll dominate. But
it's been a disappointing season, but just based off of them and their talent, Devontae and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it. So they're up there. They're up there. Top 3 for sure, I would say. But moving on. We'll stick with the NFC West. Fuck it. The NFC West.
The Niners are back!
Nope. We'll get 2 playoff teams. I'm going to throw it out there and say it's the Seahawks and Rams if it does happen, but the NFC West gets 2 playoff teams. The Commanders fall out.
It would have to be the Seahawks and the Rams. I think the Cardinals fucked themselves in the ass this week.
First of all, it doesn't have to be the Seahawks and the Rams. The Niners are still in it, technically. They can still get there, and so could the Cardinals. But go ahead.
It would have to be the Seahawks and the Rams if it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Commanders fall that far.
That far? It's only 1 game between them and the Rams.
I don't think the Commanders fall that far.
You're saying that far. It's not far at all. But
I don't think the Commanders will fall that far.
What is that far? They're falling 1 spot. But moving on.
Which is falling, and I don't think they fall that far.
Okay, Brady.
The
Moving
Commanders, the Commanders ending of the season.
All right, you
Saints, easy win. Eagles, competitive game. Falcons,
Loss.
easy win. The Falcons?
The Eagles. You said competitive game. It's just a loss.
Maybe. So they finished 3-1 because they played the Cowboys to close it off.
Cowboys been looking decent as of late.
They would finish 3-1.
They already beat them. The Cowboys already beat them.
They're gonna finish 3-1.
I think Kirk Cousins turns things back around. He could beat them too. But okay. Let's move on.
Cousins turn things back around? That's like saying we're gonna see a pig fly.
Holy shit! That not too much on my guy, man. Not too much on my guy. But moving on.
Dog shit.
Enough is enough, man. We say it every week. How they find a way to win. How can they keep this up? There's no way this is gonna happen.
I don't even want to talk about them
a million different ways. Enough is enough. We just have to accept the fact the Chiefs are three-peating and they're winning the Super Bowl.
Nope.
All right. You know, it's like
because
how many more times can we say, you know, they've got something up their sleeve, something's going on over there until we're just like, you know what? It's just Patrick Mahomes and he's just gonna find a way to win.
Make them run the gauntlet. Make them run the gauntlet. Fuck around. They'll be the 1 seed. So who would they play? Make them play the Dolphins and the Ravens, or not the Dolphins. I'm sorry. Make them play the Bills and the Ravens.
The Dolphins, they would whoop the Dolphins' ass because the Dolphins would have to go to. The Dolphins would have to go to Arrowhead, and we've seen the Dolphins in cold weather. They're shit. They are shit. They would mop the floor with the Dolphins. And last year, is that not what they had to do? Did they not have to do Ravens and Bills? And they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't really care if they win it. Juju Smith-Schuster gets another one.
Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on because I'm not dealing with that shit. Last one. Going to your favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings should trade JJ McCarthy and max out Sam Darnold. Give him that long-term deal because he is their quarterback of the future. Their franchise guy.
See, this is like the biggest topic point in. Damn, what the fuck happened here? This is like the biggest topic point in the media right now. What the Vikings are gonna do with Sam Darnold, and he has been a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this season.
Yeah, he's played like it.
They're not moving JJ McCarthy. You shouldn't even put that in it. That was just silly.
How's that silly? Get what you can get for him. Maximize your team. You know, trade him. Get some assets
That was
back.
just silly.
If you believe in Sam Darnold as your franchise quarterback, what is JJ doing there? If you want to sign Sam Darnold to a 5-year deal, JJ is going to sit there for 5 years because after 5 years his contract will be up. So what are you going to do? Re-up him?
Nobody is giving Sam Darnold 5 years.
Well,
Sam Darnold might get a 2-year, $60 million contract.
He's your franchise guy.
Nobody is giving Sam Darnold 5 years.
If you believe he's your franchise guy,
well then no, I'm saying fuck no, he's not the franchise guy. He's not getting 5 years.
So say no.
Fuck no.
Okay, that's all you need to say.
I think he could get a why is that the question? I think that is extremely silly if that's the question.
How is that silly? That Sam Darnold is the franchise
because Sam Darnold is an in-betweener. He's already 28 years old.
We saw the Seahawks do it with Geno. Geno played well. They gave him a 3-year deal. So if you give Sam Darnold a 3-year deal in this offseason, JJ's contract is up.
Okay.
Well, what do you mean? Are you just gonna bring him back if Sam Darnold plays well on that 3-year deal? You just bring JJ back and get nothing out of it? What do you mean? Okay.
You can trade JJ if you want. I'm not saying you don't have. You can't. I don't think you should. But I'm also saying you don't give. The only part I give a fuck about is you're not giving Sam Darnold 5 years. You're giving him 2 or 3.
Even if you give him 3, why would you keep JJ? Because his contract
will be up.
Then sure,
you can move JJ.
Okay,
you can move JJ.
You just agreed with me.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should.
So even if you give Sam Darnold 3 years, you just keep JJ the entire time.
Sure.
That is idiotic. Because if Sam Darnold comes in next season and plays well, what are you doing with JJ? He's just going to sit there and do nothing on your bench? When you could get something for him and maximize this team.
I think are you saying trade him now or in general?
It doesn't. Why don't we right this second? Like if there was no trade deadline, I don't say trade him this second.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. I'm saying this offseason.
Even if it's in the middle of next season, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be at the end of Sam's next contract.
I'm saying you have to see if you pay Sam Darnold, you have to make sure this is Sam Darnold, and you give it at least another year. If come next deadline or next offseason, if Darnold is Darnold again, then sure, move on from JJ. You don't keep him the whole time. If you trade JJ McCarthy, what?
I said, and that's all I said.
So what were you arguing with me?
You started this. You just said it was stupid to say that, and that's why I said it. How is it
because
stupid?
I thought you meant you're trading JJ this offseason.
Well, I never said that. I just said you just trade JJ.
The only thing I was disagreeing with was giving Sam Darnold 5 years. If you give him 2 years, beautiful. If you give him 3 years, sure. If Darnold looks good next season, then do whatever you want with JJ McCarthy. He's from Michigan. I don't like him anyways.
You got to put that bias to the side, please.
That will never happen.
For the sake of the show, like you just have to put
never happen. But I do like JJ McCarthy, the guy. I think that he's.
So what the fuck do you not like?
He's from Michigan. Tom Brady's my favorite quarterback ever, and he's from Michigan. So like the bias goes aside.
Oh, it only goes away for the greatest of all time. Oh, okay. Oh,
no, it goes aside. It's just like I like Blake Corum. You just got to bring it up, like Blake Corum.
Mm-hmm.
You played good this week, but you're from Michigan, so like you still sucked. You know, it's like that type of thing. Like Michigan, fuck yourself.
Got it.
But Sam Darnold, they're not going to keep him.
You think Sam Darnold's gone?
I think Sam Darnold's gone.
I think
you don't draft a quarterback first.
I think they would be stupid to let Sam Darnold walk. Depending on if Sam Darnold leads you to like the NFC Championship game, I think they would be.
That's different then.
Or even if he's one and done, even if I don't care where he goes in the playoffs. If it's Sam Darnold just doesn't want to re-sign, that's different. But if they say JJ's our guy and we're not even gonna offer Sam Darnold, we don't want him back. They are idiots because you turn to a rookie who you don't know if he's ready to win now. He may need time to develop. And when you have Sam Darnold and you just seen what he did the season before, I think they would be idiots. Even if you bring Sam Darnold back on a 1-year deal, you have to bring him back.
But that's my point. He's not taking a 1-year deal.
And I'm not saying they should. I'm saying they should give him like a 3-year deal. But even if it's a 1 year, I don't give a fuck. Sam Darnold has to be your quarterback next season. He has to be.
But that's why I'm saying he won't be, because he's not taking a 1-year deal. He'd be an idiot to do that.
I don't think they will give him a 1-year deal, though. I think they will give him something like what they did with Geno, like a 3-year deal. They're not going to offer Sam a 1-year deal.
I believe that they want JJ McCarthy to be the future of this football team.
Mm-hmm.
If you give Sam Darnold 3 years, let's say $90 million, and Sam Darnold starts again next year, you're not going to sit him on the bench for the last 2 years, $60 million, so that JJ McCarthy can flourish.
I disagree. I think if Sam Darnold it plays this well throughout the rest of his tenure, you just have to roll with him. You just have to bite the bullet and say, yeah, we drafted JJ, but it's like with fucking Trey Lance and or Jimmy G. It's like fucking Brock Purdy played this well for the 5 years for these 5 games. We just got to see what we got. We got to ride this out. Sorry, you guys played well enough for us, but you got hurt. Brock played well when you guys were out. We just got to continue with him. I think it should be the same thing with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold doesn't show any regression and he continues at this rate. Even if he never gets any better, he just plays like he did this season. There's no way they should move off of him. It wouldn't make any sense.
And I agree with that. It's just from an organizational standpoint, I don't know. They're in a difficult position to be in. And regardless of which way they go, I think both guys are very talented. And I think that if they go the JJ McCarthy route, they keep Daniel Jones for at least next season. So they have 3 good options. I like Daniel Jones.
And if I was Sam Darnold, I wouldn't want to go anywhere else because I would hate to see Sam Darnold be like, you know what, Vikings are giving me 3 years, 90, but the Raiders are giving me 5 years, 200. So I'm going over there, and then he just shits himself, and he just is never the same. So I would hope Sam Darnold, for his sake, he stays with the Vikings.
It depends on the number though, because if he gets 160 million guaranteed,
more money. If he gets like 100, yeah, I understand. Go get your money.
Generational wealth.
Go get your money. But for the sake of him as just a football player, I would hope he stays with the Vikings.
And I agree wholeheartedly because of Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew looked like a perennial starting quarterback last season.
Yeah,
he was phenomenal. And he goes to the Raiders, he chases the bag, and he was dog shit.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
I've been saying for years, though, that Sam Darnold is a talented quarterback, and the world is finally seeing it, and I'm so happy. Sam Howell, you're next.
The world has said that for a while. But,
not before this year.
I think I've seen a lot of people say Sam Darnold is... Everybody knows Sam Darnold is holy fuck. Talented. But I don't think anybody thought he could be a franchise quarterback, but I think a lot of people knew he was talented. But yeah, like I said, that's all I got. And I know you have the Pickem review,
bowl predictions, recap,
review, all that.
The first one was the Buffalo Bills run on the road, which was wrong. But included in that, the Chiefs would lose at home, which was wrong. So I completely missed on that. The Bills, you sold the bag. You're not winning the 1 seed. Second one was Drew Lock looks really good in a Giants win, and Drew Lock look okay, but the Giants are absolute ass.
Off. Fucking
0 for 8, 0 for 9.
He closed it out. He closed it out pretty well.
And then the third one was Isaac Garindo has 125 all-purpose yards and a win, giving Niners fans hope again. And he had over 125 all-purpose yards. And as a Niner fan, would you say you have hope? And don't even say no, because I was in that fucking stream.
It's like I don't want them to do this to me. Like I don't want to say yes, but it's like we're not.
Hey, can I ask you something real quick?
Huh? Yeah.
Can you hold up your left arm?
I took it off, but yeah. But it's like we're not out of it, and it's not like we need fucking this team to win, this team to tie. They have to split, and we win. It's like all we need is just for we win out, we win the rest of our games, and the Seahawks lose a couple, and we're in. Or if the Commanders fall off, we can get in the wild card, which I don't think will happen. But our best shot is the division, obviously, and it's super.
Did you just say you don't need this and this and that to happen?
Yeah, because all we would need was the Seahawks. All we would need is for the Seahawks to, because we play the Rams this Thursday, so we beat them. We're same record as them. So all we have to do is win out, worry about ourselves, and then the Seahawks.
They beat you all the first time, right? Though
the Rams, yeah.
So I mean, you're still in a tiebreaker with them.
We would have the tiebreaker over them if we win out. All we'd have to worry about is the Seahawks, and because we split with the Seahawks as well, so we would have to have the same record as the Seahawks, and we would get in. Yeah, and the Pickems and all that other shit. Did you want to get into that?
Bro, the Pickems are some bullshit.
Why is that? Because Harlow's had another good week and you didn't?
Harlan's had another good week.
And what's the second part of that? And Brady didn't?
No, I was okay.
What was the score? What did the score end up being this week?
You had 9, I had 8.
How many games were there?
13.
Nah, that's all right. So what? I pushed just a little more ahead. What was I? Because I was ahead, what, 3 games last week? Or something like that? Like, not like just that week, but like overall. What? I'm ahead by more? Hell yeah!
It's pretty much cooked. I don't think I can catch you at this point.
Really? How so? How much am I ahead by?
You're up to 135.
Uh-huh.
And I'm up to 127.
So what's that? 8-game difference? Yeah, you kind of have to just be different just for the sake of.
And I have been. I've been picking the fucking Cleveland Browns, and it's just.
I've been picking the Giants all year.
Me too. We both have.
But
at least you're not picking Jameis Winston just because you like him. He's man,
and I'm not picking the Panthers. Oh, Dark. Dark. We were talking about it earlier. Dark has been noticing. You know, I always say I'm the Steelers lover. Dark has been noticing. Are you a Steeler hater? Because he says every
No.
time the Steelers come up, because when it was the Browns, you were so quick to pick Jameis. When it was the Bengals versus the Steelers, I didn't even mention the game yet. You just realized it was next, and you were in the camera like this, ready to say the Bengals. And with the Ravens, I know that's your team, but like you were just so quick to pick them and didn't put any thought into it. So he was telling me like is Smallz a low key Steeler hater?
The Browns have Jameis Winston. The Bengals, I wanted them to make the playoffs first off, but I also just adore Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I'm taking the Ravens. If they're playing like the Giants or the Eagles or a random team, then sure, I'd pick the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that Mike Tomlin pissed me off. Bro, my hair is fucked up. Mike Tomlin pissed me off when he benched Justin Fields. But other than that,
but you wouldn't say you're a Steeler hater.
I don't think I'm a hater of any team other than the Jets. I'm not a hater of the Niners. I'm just a hater of you.
Like, that is crazy. That is ridiculous. You know what I stream? It's like the Niners lose, and that's my peak viewership. I'm fucking 7 viewers the whole game, 5 viewers. Boy, it's 0-0-0 on that clock. Niners lose, it's up to fucking 17 viewers. Because Morgan want to come in there. You want to come in there. Kamari want to come in there. Man, sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss, man. That tough loss, man. Niners suck. It's just, once the Niners lose, it's like everybody just comes out the fucking woodshed and just wants to
Morgan and Kamari for sure.
But Niners win. Morgan wasn't there. Kamari wasn't there. But, you know, it's all right. It's all right. We'll get into these games, man.
You trying to play Fortnite?
Like after this?
You're going to the gym, aren't you?
Yeah, I was just about to say. I mean, I can push that back if you really wanted to play.
No, we can play it. We can play it later.
Cause I've been having a pretty decent time on Fortnite.
It's fun, dude. Yeah. It's fun.
Well, what have you been playing? You've been playing the
OG.
OG or the season 6 shit is pretty decent too. It ain't bad.
I mean,
but no, the OG is pretty decent. I know like people are just mad because you can't really get like shields and shit. But like I've been having
that's how it used to be. That's how the game was.
Nah, I've been having a pretty decent time on for it.
The only thing I'm not having a decent time is like it's the same way it always was. I'll have 180 health and I'll pump someone for 27 damage and then I'm just dead. They hit me once and I'm dead. While my pump doing 27, I'm shooting from above you, down at your head, and I hit for 27. You shoot up at me and I die?
Hit your pellets. That's all I can say.
Hit your pellets. Okay, bro. But before you go into...
Oh, shit. Go ahead.
Have we done any review yet? We gotta get cooking, bro. Fantasy 4, man.
Oh, my gosh. I forgot.
Going into this week, I was up on
Bucky.
you 8-3.
I don't even give a fuck. I drafted Bucky. I don't even give a fuck, bro. Go ahead.
I was up on you 8-3.
Yeah.
I drafted Will Levis. He got me 7. You drafted Kyler. He got you 20. I had to take Will Levis. It was him or Mac Jones.
Holy shit. And that game ended, what, like 10-6? It was fucking shitty, bro.
So you're up on me 13 from quarterback. I drafted Saquon. He had 14-4. You drafted Bucky. He got you 3. So I'm up 11 on halfback. So that's what? You're up 2 still? Sure. I drafted Jonnu. He had 13-5.
All in overtime. His ass didn't do nothing in regulation. Just went crazy in overtime. That's some bullshit.
You drafted Brock Bowers, who had 8-2. So that's
worst
me up
fucking
5.
Game, like.
That's me up. That's me up 5.
Mm-hmm.
Or me up 3. Me up 3. And going into Monday Night Football, I had drafted Justin Jefferson, who had me 32.2. So I'm up 35. And I write down, I'm doing the math, and I say Jamar needs 36.06 to beat me. And his ass had 45.
Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Hell yeah, Jamar Chase. I fucking love you, but it don't even mean shit because my season's fucking over in this fucking...
We can tie.
Man. Oh, we can tie. We can tie. So shout out to you, Jamar Chase, for getting me the win going into Monday Night Football. I didn't even know you had JJ. I knew the rest of your team, but I just didn't know who your receiver was. But fucking JJ, both those receivers had that whole team. Sam,
they're 1 and 2,
and had himself a game. But yeah, let's get into the Week 14 review. Let's fucking Speed through this bitch.
Starting off with the weak ass Steelers, bro.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers moved to 10-3. The Browns fall to 3-10 after a not so good performance from Jameis, man. I said it last week. You really see last game for the Browns, you saw both sides of Jameis. Yeah, the highs and the lows. Boy, Jameis was fucking shit. Jameis was some fucking ass against the Steelers on Sunday. It wasn't a fun watch, really. Like, for as good as Jameis can be, I think he's not as bad as what he showed this weekend, but he's somewhere closer to that than what he showed on Monday Night Football against the Browns. It's like Jameis Winston, he's a great locker room guy. He's never going to be your franchise guy. I don't think he'll ever have like a Sam Darnold type story, but if you need him for a couple of games, he can come in and turn the vibes around and, give your quarterback some relief if he's out for a couple of games. But I really just don't think Jameis Winston is the Browns guy. Like, I don't think he should be I don't think he should be their plan going into the next season. He should have been playing this year over Deshaun Watson because he was just so ass. But I think the time for Jameis Winston to be a starter has came and went. I think his real last shot was being the heir apparent in air quotes, because no one's going to be Drew Brees, but being the guy after Drew Brees, you sit behind Drew Brees for a couple of seasons, and then the Saints see what they got in you, but it never really materialized into that because they went and got Derek Carr. So, but yeah, I don't know. The Browns are the Browns. Nick Chubb has not been very good since he's been back. He's been super inefficient. He's really been only, like, especially fantasy-wise, he's only really been good because he got a few touchdowns. But efficiency-wise, he has not been very good. But as far as the Steelers go, Russell Wilson did his thing. No George Pickens in this game. It was a late scratch. My brother got fucked by that in fantasy because the night before, Adam Schefter, like, he lists all the people that are like active and inactive, and George Pickens was good to go. But then come game time, it's like, nah, George Pickens isn't playing. They're playing it safe. They don't want to, risk any further injury, especially now they're playing the Browns and, they're already at 9 wins. They don't need to, rush them back. So, but, yeah, the Steelers did their thing. Browns, the Browns. Jameis was not very good, and the run game hasn't been good all season. Go ahead.
So, Sundays come, and I always go over, not always, but most Sundays I go over to my pop's house and watch the games with him. And I walk in a little bit after 1 o'clock, and he's just sitting on the couch looking up at the TV, pushing every button, and he looks back at me and goes, "The fucking TV's broken." He goes, okay. None of the games are on, and he's just fuming, dude, because he's a diehard Browns fan.
Well, it's a good thing.
And the internet's on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's calling Spectrum, and he gets a tech guy for them, and I ended up just signing into Prime, and we have Paramount at my mom's house, so we watched it through that. And then I had every other game on my laptop because the internet was so on. But he love him to death. But sometimes watching football with him, it's like, dude, you don't have to hate life.
Why do you say that?
He's a hater, dog. Straight up hater. Bryce Young, if he sees Bryce Young, it's like he sees red. He just despises him. Bryce Young and Caleb Williams are both fucking busts in his eyes. Busts. That doesn't even make sense. Williams? Yes.
Finish his first season. I hate that so much. I hate that. At least let a rookie quarterback fucking finish out their rookie contract before we even, let alone their rookie season.
And we're watching the Browns game, and the reason I bring this up is because we're watching the Browns game, and Jameis, like, he gets sacked. And he's like, "Throw the fucking ball away, you idiot!" And it's like, he's getting rushed from his back. He can't do anything about this. And he just keeps saying Jameis sucks and how bad Jameis is, and then they show Stefanski and he says he's a shit coach and blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, come on, just watch the game. We're not doing that this week.
See, I watched back last episode, and I was like, fuck, Smallz wanted me to say, and that was on me. That was on me, because I just didn't even remember what I said. I was listening to the episode at work when we dropped it, and I was like, fuck, that one was on me, because Smallz was trying to get me to say, yeah.
It was an alley-oop.
Yeah, it was right there. That one I went back and listened to, that was on me. So my
But the actual game, like you said, Jameis was terrible. And the Steelers ran all over the Browns. There was just no resistance. You handed it off to Najee, you handed it off to Jalen Warren. wherever they're going, it was just like 7 yards. They just dominated. We can move on.
Moving on. We can move on from this pretty quick too. The New Orleans Saints beating the New York Jets 14-11. I think the Giants and the Raiders have the number 1 and 2 pick after the Jags won this weekend. So go ahead if you want to talk about your boy Drew Lock.
14-11.
Holy fuck! He
Saints
threw
are
it
up.
49 times. I didn't even realize. Go ahead though. Sorry.
14-11. Saints are winning. Drew Lock rips off like a I don't know what it was. It was like a 30-yard run, 25-yard run. He rips off a 25-yard run to get them into field goal range. It would have been a deep field goal, but they were in range. Next play, he throws it down the seam to Malik Neighbors. Neighbors runs all the way left and gets them to like the 25 or 30 or something like that. They run out the clock. 35-yard field goal to tie the game and go into overtime. And it shanked so far left. It wasn't even.
We were texting during the end of this, right? When he shanked it, were we? I think.
Bro, yes, we were. And Drew Lock has not been phenomenal this year. Like we said earlier in the episode, he started off 0-9 or something like that. But overall, he looked solid. And he's ran phenomenally.
He was their best rusher. Tyron Tracy could not get it going.
So for him to get screwed like this, it really bothers me. And he was announced the starter for the Ravens game if he's healthy then, so that's cool. They're still keeping their faith in him. But the reason that I'm wanting to talk about this game, it isn't even in the game. The boring game. Derek Carr he's in concussion protocol, and he has a non-throwing hand significant fracture.
Yeah.
So he'll be out several weeks. They're not putting him on IR just in case he can come back, but he's probably out for the season. And the whole part of him this happening was just a silly circumstance because it was 2nd and 10 with 5 minutes left in the game, and they're up 3. 2nd and 10, and he's running to the right, and he tries to hurdle. It's your Derek Carr. Just get out of bounds. You're right there. Yeah. And he falls on his face. He tries to catch himself, and Jake Haener comes in. Why Jake Haener instead of Rattler? His ass stinks. But Tyrann Mathieu was heard saying, "Y'all fucking calling plays like I'm not out here." And Tyrann Mathieu's awesome, dude. I want him to go somewhere else so bad. He was phenomenal with the Chiefs, and then they move on from him because they don't want to pay him. And the Saints are just so bad for him to still be here. Please let him free. Brian Dable's time with this team is over. Fix your camera.
Probably.
Did you see the airplane? During the game, an airplane flew over the stadium with like the banner behind it saying, "Mr. Mara, please fix the dumpster fire."
Oh no, I didn't see that. No. Who the fuck allowed that?
Exactly. And I think they asked Dable about it, and he gave some basic response. He was like, "We all want to be better, blah blah blah." They asked Malik Neighbors about it. You know what he says? They said, as a player, how do you deal with that?
I couldn't tell you. He probably gave some fucking wide receiver some Jamar Chase type answer. He was probably blunt.
I ain't pay for the plane.
Like he didn't. He didn't. And that's another time where he's just throwing shots. He's not throwing shots, but he's throwing shots saying, "Yeah, he's right. He is right." But man,
I love Malik Neighbors.
Drew Lock, I know you love Drew Lock, and I just been labeled as Drew Lock, like not a Drew Lock guy. But when Drew Lock was with the Broncos, I thought he would be the Broncos, not guy, but he could be serviceable for the Broncos because he always had a big arm, had the talent, but just never put it together. So shout out to Drew Lock. You played. He
played.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hate the Jets. Moving on to the Miami Dolphins beating the Jets are 3-10. I didn't even realize they were 3-10. Holy shit. The Miami Dolphins beat the New York Jets 32-26. The Dolphins still clinging to playoff hope, move to 6-7. The Jets fall to 3-10. My goodness, I did not know it was this bad. I really didn't know it was this bad.
Terrible.
Shout outs to Tua, man. Ever since he's been back, he has been phenomenal. He's been
easily top 10 this year.
Yeah, when he's played, he's been amazing. Even before the team weren't amazing early on the season, but I thought Tua was still playing really well. And ever since he's came back, he's playing at an even better level. So shout out to Tua. This was Tyreek Hill's probably best game of the season. Finally, he got something going. And like we talked about earlier, Jonnu Smith, who has been very, very good up to this point into the season, didn't do anything in regulation. But it came to overtime. He was just Tua's guy. I think it was 3 receptions, 46 yards, and the game-winning touchdown. So shout out to Jonnu Smith. As far as the Jets, man, I know your boy G5. I'm sorry that you have to be over there. Devontae Adams, you should have asked to go somewhere else. They asked Devontae Adams. He was on, I think, K Adams' show. Or I think it was.
He's so fine.
So fine. And she had asked him, were the Chiefs on the list? And he was like, no, because he gave a list to the Raiders. And he said, no, the Chiefs weren't on the list. You should have put the Chiefs on the fucking list. The Jets should have been nowhere near your list. The Chiefs should have realistically been the only team on that fucking list. If the Raiders were willing to send you there, why would you not want to go to the Chiefs? But you want to go play with your fucking you want to go play with your fucking buddy and be at his house before the trade is even announced. But whatever. And as far as Aaron Rodgers goes, he just don't got it anymore, my man.
The Jets kick a field goal on 4th and 2 from Miami's 10 to take the lead 26-23 with 52 seconds remaining in the game. 52 seconds. The Dolphins get the ball back with 1 timeout.
It went right there, bro. That was...
They drive right down the field.
It's like no resistance at all.
52 seconds, they drive down the field, kick the field goal to send it to overtime. The Dolphins win in overtime, and the Jets never got the ball back.
Yeah.
So when you see a coach like on Thursday play with so much aggression that he's always trying to put his team in the spot where they're controlling the game instead of the opposite way, I respect Dan Campbell so much, dude. I love the way he coaches. I love when you see aggression like this.
Yeah, people got mad at him last year for the amount of times he went for it against us and allowing us to get back into the game. But it's like...
And I agree that was wrong.
I agree, but it's like I respect and salute you for being the guy that you have been all season, you know?
Yeah.
We've done this all year. Why are we stopping now? So I respect it.
And with this loss, the Jets have now been eliminated from the playoffs for 14 straight seasons, extending the longest active drought.
Asked about that?
Huh?
He got asked at the podium. He was like, the reporter was like, so, you know, the Jets have now been out of the playoffs 14 straight years. He's like, I think his words were like, it's kind of impressive to do that. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, so what's the question? And then he goes, so what are your thoughts on that? And Aaron Rodgers was like, well, I've only been here for 1 year. I'm only part of that. I've only played for 1 full season. So I've only been part of that for this year. I can't talk about the previous years. It's just like, damn, bro. 14 straight seasons. I was high on the Jets coming into this season. Their defense was elite. You're getting your quarterback back. Garrett Wilson has a quarterback finally. Breece Hall being the running back he has been. But man, it's been such a probably the most disappointing team this year.
It's the longest drought between like any of the major sports: NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, and WNBA. And speaking of MLB, shout out Juan Soto.
Shout out Juan Soto going to the Mets. I'm a baseball guy, man. Years,
$750 million.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know if you're gonna know how it works. I know there's no salary cap in baseball, right? But it's like I'll play like MLB The Show and I'll go into a franchise like, oh, you can't sign them. It'll put you over the salary cap. So why does it do that?
No idea.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like, there's technically no salary cap, but you can't spend it all in this. I don't know if there was some rule or something that you would know.
I'm not much of a baseball guy.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to.
If it's not the Yankees or the Reds, I didn't really answer you.
All right. We can move on to, oh my goodness, Mac Jones. If you want to speak about this, you can. Mac Jones and the Jaguars beat the Tennessee Titans after Mac Jones threw an interception on his first fucking pass. Both teams moved to 3-10.
Can you guess the top 8 draft picks right now?
In order?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Raiders, I want to say, are number 1. Then the Giants.
Yep.
Then the Titans. Okay, I don't know who 3 is, but it's Titans and Jags, right?
Nope.
4 and 5 are Titans and Jags? No?
Titans are 6.
Okay, Jags are 5. So 3 and 4. What other teams? Oh, the Jets. The Jets are 4.
Jets are 7.
What the fuck? What other 3? The Panthers. The Panthers are 3.
Panthers are 4.
Okay, Panthers are 4.
I literally said shut up, plug.
Oh, the Pats. So, okay, so Raiders, Giants, Pats, Panthers, Jags, Titans, Jets. Bears. It's another 3-win team. Damn, there's so many 3-win teams.
Let's say we shouldn't let their starting quarterback get on a table.
The Browns should be a lot more than fucking 3 wins, but they wanted to start that guy for so long.
The Jags were up 10-6 in this game with a minute and 15 seconds left from the 10 on 3rd and 5. The Titans have the ball. Will Levis rolls right and throws it to Calvin Ridley wide open. 3rd and 5. Minute 15 left. And he throws it so low that Calvin Ridley has to run out of bounds. Like he can't catch it and go upfield. Mm-hmm. And it's I've said for a couple weeks now that Will Levis should be their guy for next year because they have bigger issues. But
I still wouldn't be mad at it though if they came in with Will Levis as their guy.
I still think he should be.
And maybe you draft a quarterback in the 4th or the 5th. You maybe you don't draft him in the 1st round, but you draft the quarterback in the later rounds just in case Will Levis is just so shit that it's like fuck it, let's give this guy a chance. Mm-hmm. But I think coming into next season, I think you just try to put some other pieces on this team, and I think you do come into next season with Will Levis as your quarterback.
Vontae, we love you, Unc. It's gonna be another tough year next year.
Even if they do draft a quarterback in the 1st round or whatever, I think Will Levis should be there. There should be maybe some quarterback competition, and Will Levis should be the guy week 1. Then, 5 weeks into the season, Will Levis is just thinking it up. You can bring that rookie in. But yeah.
I never like when they do that shit.
Really?
Pat's pissed me off doing that this year.
But no, that's different because that's just Jacoby Brissett. You already know what he is. But Will Levis, he can still be somewhat serviceable for you.
Let's move on. Let's talk about your guy. Your guy. Your guy.
Sam Darnold, baby! Sam Darnold went out and had himself an amazing game. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Atlanta Falcons 42-21. The Falcons fall to the 2nd seed in the NFC South, fall to 6-7. The Vikings improve to 11-2. Holy shit. But yeah, you said you want to talk about my guy, Sam Darnold. What do you want to say? Kirk Cousins has been some shit. He's been some hot fucking shit.
Bro, absolutely horrific. He's been a monstrosity.
I think it's in his last 4 games. He's 0 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, which is just fucking disgusting. Disgusting. And we said it week 1, he didn't look good. He looked like he couldn't move. But after week 1, he just got better and better and better and better. But then he just fell right back off of a cliff these past few games, and it's just like, what the fuck happened? And it's just bad timing because once Bijan started picking it up, now you're just seeing Kirk Cousins just going the other way. So they're just their offense could never just work in unison. But yeah, I've been saying it for the past few weeks. Kirk Cousins just has literally nothing on his balls. Nothing. That ball comes.
Pause, bro. Pause. What the?
You done? Are you done?
Was for that yee ass haircut. There's some bitches on your dick.
As I was saying, Kirk Cousins has nothing on his passes. Like when he passes the ball just comes out with literally nothing on it. There's no velocity, no zip to the ball. He can't fit a ball into a tight window if he tried. I said it last episode. If you look at Kirk Cousins, they zoom in on Kirk Cousins' face sometimes, and he's like wincing, looking like he's putting everything into it, but that ball is still lofting through the air, and there's nothing on it. It's just gross, man. For as good as I thought Kirk Cousins was and could be, especially for this team, I thought he was always like a fringe top 10 guy. And to watch him walk out onto the field getting booed, I was like, oh shit, Kirk Cousins is about to shut these fucking fans up.
That was some BS.
And he goes out there and just is pitiful, man. Pitiful. So yeah,
I might have been Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kirk Cousins, I love you, but Michael Penix is standing right behind you, waiting for his opportunity, man. Maybe not.
I might have been Kirk Cousins.
Next, sorry.
My brother asked me that yesterday or the day before if Penix should start, and I said fuck no. But I might have been Kirk Cousins' biggest hater while he was in Minnesota.
Oh, we know. It was fuck, dude? Don't associate me with the fucking Vikings as long as he's the quarterback. But go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I stood on that. And I'm a Vikings fan this year now, right? And I was a Vikings fan before the season started when you picked them to win 2 games, right? As soon as Kirk was gone, I was back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I hate when fans boo like that because Kirk, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
he just went to a new team.
Leave. Yeah, all he did was leave and go to another team. And it's not like he left you high and dry and now you're just a poverty. You got fucking Sam Darnold over there playing his ass off and you're 11-2. So, you know.
You're better than when you had his little weak ass.
I wouldn't say his weak ass, but exactly.
But Justin Simmons was very bad this week. Like, very, very bad.
Speaking of very bad, I'm sorry to cut you off. Kyle Pitts, I am done. I'm giving up on you. I've lost all hope for Kyle Pitts. I specifically just said, you know what, Kyle Pitts, I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna look at your box score. I'm gonna look at you while you play this game and see what you're doing. Kyle Pitts, we already knew he wasn't a blocking tight end. He was gonna be a tight end that got down the field, got vertical, could put up numbers. Kyle Pitts' route running is so fucking lazy. It is crazy. It is so lazy. He's not making any sharp breaks. He's fucking rounding out his routes. He runs an out route and he's fucking running like it looks like a fucking candy cane, like a shape of a fucking candy cane. That's how he's running his fucking route. There's nothing on it. No one's biting on his fucking on his breaks. Towards the end of the game's pretty much over. Kirk Cousins throws him a ball at the back on the right side of the end zone. And I think it's a DB on him. I forget who it is. He can't bring it down. If you're a tight end, you got to be able to kill cornerbacks because they're too small and beat linebackers because they're not fast enough. He can't do it. He couldn't come down with that ball. Very next play, Kirk Cousins gives him the ball across the middle. Now you got the linebacker on you across the middle. Before it was a cornerback. Now it's a linebacker. Ball goes straight through his hands, and it's turnover on downs. Vikings just kneel the ball out. So Kyle Pitts, I'm done saying, you know what, maybe it's not you, maybe it's a quarterback. I know Kirk Cousins isn't playing well right now. You had a little stretch earlier in the season, but Kyle Pitts is just a lazy route runner. He has no aggression to him, it feels like. He's never been a great blocker. So Kyle Pitts, I'm sorry, but it's you, my friend. For all the hype you came in with into the draft, generational tight end of the future, he's going to change this franchise around, going to be breaking records. You just seems like you don't want it bad enough. You don't have it. You're not skilled. The skill is there. The talent's there, but you're just not putting it to good use.
I can't even say I'm done. Next season will come and I'll draft him again.
I might, because it's like, oh, Michael Penix is your guy now. Maybe maybe Michael Penix can get it out of you. But as of right now, Kyle Pitts, I'm done. Kyle Pitts is my quarterback in the CT league, and I was telling my brother, Kyle Pitts might get dropped for the playoffs. I know he was on my team for the entire season, but it's like I can't have 2.0 points going into the playoffs. I just can't. We talked about it earlier. If Kyle Pitts could just give us that stretch that he gave us, it's not like he was fucking 10 receptions, 152 touchdowns. It was 6 receptions, 70 yards, 5 receptions, 50 and a touchdown. Just be serviceable, just be solid. But it looks like he can't even do that. So Kyle Pitts, we'll be seeing you.
Before we move on, some of Darnold's passes were just hilarious. If you watch this game and you see Addison having to literally stop to come back and catch the ball,
bro,
and then there's 2 guys. He's here. And there's 2 guys here. That was again when Jettis caught the ball. Jettis had to slow down and catch it, and the dude just was on his ass. And he made some rifle throws when they were in the red zone and everything. So he still hooped, but some of Darnold's passes were not good, and they still just ended up in big touchdowns, and it was hilarious. Justin Simmons, please pick it up because you were so good earlier this year. And as a diehard Vikings fan, seeing her little ass out there celebrating, holding up the belt.
Are you finally gonna be with her now? You riding with her now?
The fact that she was there made me a little bit less excited for this win.
Oh. If you guys don't know, he's talking about Tiffany Stratton. I was excited to see her there. Made me want to root for the Vikings.
No.
All right.
She's weak.
That's just not true, but let's move on.
And her homie weak. Nia Jax weak.
Let's move on. Man, I was rooting for them to do it. The Philadelphia Eagles hang on late to beat the Carolina Panthers 22-16. The Eagles keep their winning streak alive and move to 11-2. The Panthers, who look like they could be fake competing in the NFC South after these past few weeks, they kept the games close but couldn't pull them off. Fall to 3-10. Go ahead and talk about your quarterback, man.
Bryce Young is in his own end zone, literally on like the 1 yard line with 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh! Oh my! I know.
Beautiful punt.
Oh my goodness, man! It was beautiful. It was beautiful. He's evading pressure, doing circles, steps up into the pocket, and man, go. Sorry. Go ahead.
And I text Terlins. I said, Bryce Young, is he gonna do it? And I don't remember if you were an aggressive fuck no or if you just said no, but I know you said no.
Said no. Shit. Well, I guess I was right, but I was rooting for it to happen, but I didn't think it would happen.
Or maybe you said fuck no about Drew Lock.
Oh yes, it was fuck no about Drew Lock. Yeah, I remember that was fuck no about Drew Lock. I'm gonna go look at it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was fuck no about Drew Lock.
But Bryce Young is in his own end zone.
It was you that said fuck no to Drew Lock. You answered your own shit. You was like, Drew Lock gonna lead this drive. And I don't know what he did, but then you was like, fuck no. So it was you that said it. I just said no. You said fuck no. You literally replied to your own thing and said fuck no.
They must I think that was when they punted before they got the ball back to go on that last drive.
The fact that I wasn't even gonna look at it, I was gonna be like, yeah, it was probably me. It was you that replied to literally your own message and said fuck no.
But anyways, Bryce Young makes some phenomenal plays in his own red zone, and they get down to like the 40, and he avoids pressure again and throws a bomb to Xavier Legette, and Legette catches it, diving pass, he rolls into the end zone, and this is as the Samsung guy is fixing our shit. I'm watching it on the TV because it's connected to the internet, and I fucking stand up screaming there, and the Samsung guy just looks at me like,
dude,
okay? And then the refs are waving it off, and I'm like,
bro, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, holy shit, they did it. And then I see fucking Xavier Legette and a teammate run over, and he's like this, looking around, and the refs are saying no, and I'm like, how the fuck is it not a touchdown?
Pissed, dude.
I was like, how the fuck is it not a touchdown?
Yeah, I thought they were just calling him down.
I thought maybe he was down at the one, he didn't roll in. I was like, okay, they still can punch it in, but his ass just didn't even.
They're showing it, and he drops in. It's like, damn. And I would never blame a rookie for for dropping that pass in that situation. He got wide open. He did his job. It was a diving catch. It was a hard catch, and he couldn't come down with it. It wasn't the easiest
catch, but definitely a catch you're beating yourself up about. You got to come down with
for sure,
especially at the time of the game. So
it was cool to see after the game. Adam Thielen was like, I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him yet, but I'm going to talk to Xavier. I'm going to make sure that he knows that all receivers, no matter how good you are, you make these drops, you make these critical drops, and
they wanted it bad. They're like the Panthers want to win. They fuck that pick. They want to win.
I can't wait for next year.
Adam Thielen was on the bench, fucking sad, looking like he was about to cry. He looked like he was about to be in tears.
Adam Thielen is any critical drop, like possession, third down, fourth down. He's just open at all times, and he caught like 3 or 4 passes in a row, and he walks out of bounds as like slow as humanly possible, and he's just hovered over, and it's like, damn, is he gonna die? He was just exhausted because he was putting everything he had into this game. And before I move on from Legette, I think that he is going to be phenomenal. But the fact that he was drafted 1 before Keon Coleman and Ladd McConkey, who are also great, that's very cool. And Bryce Young, you're amazing. You're this franchise's quarterback going forward. I don't think it should be a question anymore. I think that Dave Canales is a good NFL coach. I think that they figure out some chemistry this offseason, and they go in the next season and look great. Quinyon Mitchell had been one of the best cornerbacks in football all season. He walked into the game with a Guantanamo Bay hoodie on, and it was hard as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But his ass could not guard Adam Thielen. 39-year-old, 47-year-old, 806-year-old Adam Thielen was just cooking him, and Jonathan Brooks retore his right ACL.
Man, that sucks. Yeah,
and you can't blame the Panthers at all because they did everything that they physically could have to let him come back in his own time.
They didn't rush him back. They just rode with Chuba, and yeah.
And it's sad to see. And Chuba was great this game, but he had to be because Jonathan Brooks got hurt. Miles Sanders has been hurt. Raheem Blackshear got hurt. So it was like Chuba or I guess we're going to throw Adam Thielen back there to run the ball himself. But I'm excited for the Panthers next season.
Before we move on, I want to talk about a couple of comments that were made. Did you see the whole A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts thing?
Yes.
Did you see the Brandon Graham thing?
Yes. I'm so glad you brought that up because I saw that a couple hours ago and I forgot to write it down.
Go ahead.
A.J. Brown, I think, is undebatably a top 5 receiver in football.
Absolutely. I would say so. See, I always say top 5, but it's like if you're in that range, I'm just gonna say I could probably say you could probably name 8 guys, and I'd say they're top 5. But it's like
top 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
And if you look at the receiving yards list, I think he's still top 10 with like half of the receptions of everybody else. And you can't put that all on Jalen Hurts. But if you watch this game, he was open several times, and Hurts just looks him off. And they're apparently going through some beef, and Brandon Graham, what he went to the podium and said should never be said by your teammates. Did you have the actual quote?
Oh, what Brandon Graham said or AJ Brown said? I have both of them. I'll start with AJ Brown.
Give them both.
Yeah, so AJ Brown was asked what needs to improve on the offense, and he just straight up said the passing. And then Brandon Graham went to and he was asked about AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, and he said, "I know one is trying, and 11 could be better with how he responds to things. They were friends, but things have changed. They have beef." So yeah, so Brandon Graham came out, and for him to be the guy that he is, Philadelphia, tenured, a vet like that, for him to come out and he went back and apologized for saying that. Yeah, he went and said that they are beefing. And then for A.J. Brown to go out and say it's not the best look, it seems like all receivers are fucking divas. They're just going to say what's on their mind no matter. Like, receivers and cornerbacks are just going to say what's on their mind no matter what. So for A.J. Brown to go to the podium, it wasn't even, there was like the media scrum in the locker room. For him to go and get asked what needs to improve on the offense, and for him to just say the passing, when he could have said the offense in general, he didn't have to just say the passing. And Jalen Hurts does need to improve, though. Jalen Hurts, for as good as the Eagles have been in this run, Jalen Hurts definitely needs to improve as a passer. His numbers will look good at the end of the game, but as a passer, he definitely has some glaring flaws. But I think it just sucks that they're playing this well and they still have this shit going on. Because this feels like something that would have happened with the Eagles last season. Because they started really well, but then fell off the face of the earth towards the end of the season. So this feels like something that would be going on last season. But for it to happen this year, when you're having a great run, you're on a 9-game, 8-game win streak now, and for you to be doing this, I hope this doesn't linger and cause them to go back to the team that they were last season, and hopefully they can keep this going.
If you had the time, don't let it burn.
Nothing.
Shout out Linger. Great song. All
right, let's move on.
Nah, you can't be doing that when you're this good, though.
Yeah. Like,
keep that shit behind closed doors.
You guys are too good of a team right now to be just letting that shit out. And Brandon Graham, like you said, you're bogus as hell for that shit. But moving on to the Tampa. Hold on. We're moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Raiders. The Bucks beat the Raiders 28-13, and I want my fucking credit. I said this game would be somewhat decent and somewhat close throughout the entire game. Bucks would score 2 touchdowns late, and it would look a lot more different than what it was. What do you know? In the fourth quarter, the Bucks scored 2 touchdowns. But Smallz said, "I can't wait till after this game and the Raiders and the Bucks whoop the Raiders' ass so I can clip this and you can be 2 for 15 on the season when you say this."
I don't think I said I was going to clip it.
You definitely did. Did.
I don't think I said clip it. I probably said bring it back. But Tampa started off up 14-0. This game was never in competition. They brought it back to 14-10, but like...
Yeah. Because they started good, then Baker just started turning the fucking ball over, and it became a somewhat decent game. But
nah,
not that it was a great game, but it was somewhat close. I said it was going to be a fake good game, but
Aiden O'Connell got carted off with a leg injury.
All right, fuck me. And that's all you got to say.
That's all I have to say.
I just wanted to say shout out to the Bucs. It was a great game plan by them. They negated Max Crosby by using a quick passing game. Baker just got the ball out quick, so Max Crosby couldn't rush the passer. Shout out to Caleb on Chason. He had a really nice play where I think the Bucs were trying. The Bucs tried to get a screen pass. He tipped it up, and he tipped the screen pass. He read out the screen pass, tipped it, and got the pick himself. So shout out to Caleb on Chason. That was a really nice play. Baker, he started off really well, then had a weird stretch. And I texted you during this game, the Raiders are just fucking pitiful because they get a turnover and the very next play, literally the very next play.
Caleb on Chason pick.
Yeah, and then they went and fumbled it. And I also fucking texted you, Antonio Pierce, that was legitimately the worst challenge I've ever seen in my life, and I said he should be fired on the spot for that challenge. That challenge was idiotic. If you saw the play, you saw Trey Tucker was not even close to being in bounds. It's not like, was there space in between the sideline and his foot? He was nowhere near in bounds, so I don't know what the fuck he saw to challenge that. But yeah, shout out to the Bucs who move into first in the NFC South now with the Falcons playing like some hot shit. But let's move on to the Seahawks.
Whoa. Aiden O'Connell injury. He was pushed from behind after the ball was already out of his hand. Should have been a flag. Some bullshit by the refs and by the Buccaneers. But also, Antoine Winfield will miss several games with a sprained knee, which absolutely sucks for the Buccaneers defense because he is incredible. And shout out to Desmond Ridder. I said I wanted to see him play, and I guess we're going to get to see that for the end of the season.
Moving on to the Seattle Seahawks beating the Arizona Cardinals, man. As a Niners fan, I need the Cardinals to win this game. But moving on, the Seahawks moved to 8-5. The Cardinals moved to fall to 6-7. Go ahead, man.
The first thing I wrote was congratulations to the Cardinals. They get to go on an early vacation.
Yeah,
because they're not making the playoffs.
A 3-game losing streak, man.
I hate to see the Cardinals fall like this. They were competing for so much of the season, but they're just... Next year, I believe, like I said with the Panthers, they'll have a way better season. I think that they have some glaring issues that they'll be able to patch up on, but they have stuff to build on undoubtedly from this year. Mm-hmm. It's not like last year where they look shit and you just hope Kyler's better this year. Kyler is the guy, undoubtedly. Mm-hmm. On the Seahawks side, though, K9 was ruled out late Saturday night, and Charbonnet was started
like fucking bro. He was ready. He was ready. Zach Charbonnet.
Where'd he go to college?
No fucking clue. Not a clue.
Lazo.
Would have never guessed it if you put a gun to my head and gave me a million guesses.
You don't know where Lonzo Ball went?
Oh, you said Lonzo. I heard Lazo, and I was like, boy, what the fuck is that? But Lonzo, so UCLA. So UCLA. Yeah. I heard Lazo, and I was like, yeah, that's why I said I wouldn't have guessed it if you put a gun to my head.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was going to say, I didn't know that was a college. So, yeah, I would have never guessed it. But, yeah, continue.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba is the real deal. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, man, it sucks because we always said the Arizona Cardinals could be up and down, but they were putting together a little stretch where they were just on the uptick. They were looking solid. They were hanging in there with good teams. They were beating teams. But then for them to go out and lose 3 games in a row when they literally had the NFC West in the palm of their hands. The Seahawks have gotten things together as of late. But if you going back a few weeks before this losing streak for the Cardinals, they had the NFC West. Just win a couple more games and it's pretty much wrapped up. It's yours. But for now, them to be tied for last place in the NFC West, Kyler Murray, as much as Trey McBride got the ball in this game, he got 14 targets, but he didn't get his first catch until like 5 minutes left in the third or something like that. So we just got to we got to be better at that, Kyler. And you said it all season, Marvin Harrison Jr. It's like after that first game, there was like, all right, fine. Y'all want us to give him the ball. I think it was week 2. He went out and had that game where he had a touchdown early, another touchdown, and then there was like, all right, we quieted social media. Now we can just go back to what we want to do and just said, fuck Marvin Harrison Jr. Please get him the ball, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has just not been as good as he was as in the past, and like towards like the middle portion of the season. I think that's really where he was playing his best football. As of late, it hasn't been very good. He's been turning the ball over, and he threw 2 picks, and both of them led to Seahawk touchdowns. So I mean, that's just a recipe.
No more cookies.
Yeah, no more cookies, no more COD, no more pizza reviews like your Dave Portnoy. But yeah, man, the Cardinals for what they look like and how they could look like they
he
could
can
run
keep
away.
playing COD and eating his pizza because he's still been solid. The team's just not been great.
Look like
Just
they
no more
could-
cookies.
yeah.
You don't get rewards after more.
It looked like they could run away with this division, and just to see the way they are now, it sucks to see. But yeah, shout out Buda Baker, had 18 tackles. Let's move on. Moving on to the San Francisco 49ers. It's been 4 weeks since I've been able to say they've won a game. The 49ers beat the
if y'all are
Chicago Bears
interested,
38-13.
Look at the time slot where this is now and skip forward exactly 30 minutes and we'll still be talking about the Niners.
Let's move on. Like, that's like, sorry, I get, carried away, and I like to talk about my guys because it's the team I'm invested in the most.
So. Jawan Johnson was great.
It was phenomenal. George Kittle was great. Brock Purdy was very, very good. Isaac Arendo, before he came out of the game, was very good too. And I was really impressed with what I seen from Isaac Arendo in the passing game as well, not just the running game. He had a nice play where Brock Purdy threw it to him on the right sideline, sun in his eyes, and he still came down with it. But
let's talk about him.
And he got
receiver.
Hurt. Top receiver, Jawan Jennings?
Isaac Arendo did get hurt. Isaac Arendo got hurt. Yeah. Shout out to him. Hopefully he'll be okay.
What do you mean?
Your top paid receiver.
Oh my. Did you see what he posted?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, my brother sent me this while I was working. I called him immediately.
He just tweeted, not struggling at all, just not getting the ball.
Getting the ball. Which is, I don't know how Debo can say that when he got 5 carries. He got 5 carries. It amounted to 13 yards. He got only 3 targets, but can you blame Brock Purdy for not targeting you the ball? You've been horrendous. Your route running has never been good. It seems like you've been out of shape your entire football career. Like, I was talking to my brother, and I was like, dog, look at Debo Samuel right now. Does he not look a little, not to say he's fucking fat or anything, he's still obviously in great shape, but for an NFL wide receiver, I'm like, look at Debo Samuel with his pads on right now. Does he not look a little chunky? And he's like, hell yeah, he does. Like, he's never been in good football shape. I've said it legitimately from week 1. The Debo runs do not work anymore. The Debo end-arounds do not work anymore. He's been such a vital part of our offense for the past however many years, but we just have to realize Jawan Jennings is our best receiver right now, and George Kittle is the best tight end in football. Those are our 2 guys. Debo, you can have 3 receptions. You can have 3-4 targets. But I'm sorry, the days of you getting 10 targets, you're getting 7 rushes, those days are past. You are just not that guy anymore. You do not have it. This is not 2021 anymore. And for him to make that post in his last 4 games, do you know how many yards Debo has? This is rushing and receiving.
Less than 100.
He has 97 total scrimmage yards in the last 4 games. That's not just receiving, not rushing. That's them combined. 97 yards in his last 4 games. So for him to go out and say this is just baffling. Baffling. You have not been good. You have no right to say anything.
Samuel could put up these numbers.
Look, anybody could put up these numbers. And for him to be paid the amount he's paid, for him to be going in Jake Moody's face and smashing our fucking smushing our long snapper in the face when they're having a rough game. Now what the should Kyle Shanahan go and fucking slap you? Because you've been shit. Speaking of Kyle Shanahan, though, I think this was Kyle Shanahan's best coach game. He called the George Kittle tight end screen, which George Kittle was asked at the podium, when's the last time you ran a screen? George Kittle said, I don't know, probably 2019. It's like, I don't understand why we don't do that more when you have a weapon like George Kittle. He called a zone read for Brock Purdy, a little keeper. Brock Purdy ran it in, but it was a penalty. So Kyle Shanahan was in his bag today. Shout out to Kyle Shanahan for as much crap as I gave you this season. You did your thing. George Kittle, you're elite. You're gold jacket. Jawan Jennings, you continue to make a name for yourself. Shout out to you. And Brock Purdy, you played well. That's all I got to say. No, that's not all I got to say. Renardo Green, you're so good, bro. And Talanoa Hufanga, you came back off of IR. You were very good as well. Jair Brown, I'm sorry. This is I used to be a guy that said Talanoa Hufanga should be re-signed in this offseason. He is a priority. We need him to come back next season. Go ahead.
Was Tarvarius Ward good?
Was I don't think his name stood out to me, which is kind of a good thing for a corner. That means he wasn't, getting targeted much.
I'm rooting for him going forward.
Absolutely, yeah. And I hope to see Trent Williams back soon as well with what he's going through. But yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Before you move on, I will say that Roman Reigns, I hate you.
Man, like that whole family is Niner fans. Bailey's a Niners fan.
Let's
move on.
Is Jay a Niners fan?
That whole family, Jay, Jimmy, they're all Niners fans. Like literally all of them. The Rock, I'm pretty sure The Rock is a Niners fan. Man, we're in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. I don't know if you like seen it, but The Rock did like those pregame like introduction of the teams, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Like it was so good. But yeah, The Rock, they're like that whole family is Niners fans. But moving on to game of the week. I'm so pissed this was going on as the Niners were playing because I had to go back and watch this game.
Uso is a diehard Niners fan.
I told you the whole family was, man. The whole family was. Put your fucking ones up, man. Put your ones up. Put your ones up, man. And you saw that tweet, right? I'm assuming that's why you said that. Because if you don't know, the Steelers made a little post about them being the Browns and used a picture of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. But Roman Reigns quote tweeted it saying, bang, bang. Because he's Niner gang, baby. He's Niner gang. Or he said Niner gang, and George Kittle was in the comments too, but... You know, man, he knows what it is. We'll see you at the Super Bowl, Roman. But moving on to game of the week. As I said, I was so pissed this was at the same time with the Niners game because I had to go back. But the Rams beat the Bills in a shootout, 44-42. Puka Nacua both receivers have themselves a pretty decent game. Matthew Stafford was phenomenal. Josh Allen probably put up the best quarterback performance of the season. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh, now it's just go ahead, man. You don't want to just go and then talk. It's always Smallz, go ahead, get to talking. Smallz, get to saying all what you gotta say. I'm not gonna start ever. I just want you to go ahead and give all your opinion, so then I can just piggyback off of them. Go ahead, Smallz. Oh man, I love him so much, bro. Matt Stafford deserves so much love. But he's just been absolutely brilliant all season. Whether he had his guys, whether he was throwing to Jordan Whittington, Stafford is easily a gold.
I haven't heard that
jacket.
name in forever. You used to bring him up so much, like every week when the receivers were out, when Cooper and Puka were out. You brought him up so much.
Because I liked him. I thought he was going to be the guy, and he just unfortunately wasn't. Tutu Atwell was the guy, and Tutu Atwell was cool this week as well. I think Tutu Atwell got hurt though. Can't say that for sure, but the Rams' offense was a masterclass. I wish they could have had Puka and Cooper Kupp all season because I think they are firmly in the playoffs. If so, it's just a completely different team. They call a jet sweep at one point in this game. I don't even remember where it was. Maybe it was before half, or maybe it was at the end of the game. It was an important part of the game, though. I do remember that. But because they call a jet sweep, and Stafford takes off, or not Stafford. McVay takes off sprinting to the ref. It's like timeout, and Tom Brady was like
towards like the end zone, right? Like, that's where, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Tom goes, I think that might have been a touchdown. So Puka runs it in the end zone, and he goes back to the timeout, and they run the same thing. He comes over to get the sweep, and they don't give it to him. They don't snap it, obviously. And then they just said, fuck it, and just put him back in the other way. They hand it off to him, and he runs it in, and Tom goes, he's going to get it anyway. And Tom Brady is my second Tom Brady is top 3 all time for my favorite player, and hearing him commentate just makes my heart happy. Even if he isn't great, I just like Tom Brady. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns, and I don't know if you saw the tweet, but before the game, it was like a fit check type of account, and it was like Josh Allen's wearing the Grinch cleats. He might go for 6 touchdowns.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He had 3 passing and 3 rushing.
Bro,
the man,
insane.
I will say it for eternity. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's one of the better quarterbacks of all time, and bro, he also gets the.
There are so many quarterbacks in the league right now that are going to be, when they're done, known as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Like Allen, Lamar, Mahomes. I think Joe Burrow can make a case. Justin Herbert, if he can get some, wins in under his belt. I think there's just a lot of quarterbacks that can be known as one of the all-time greats.
Justin Herbert's being like the if guy, or if this happened, then they could have done this. It makes me smile.
It is that way for Justin Herbert. It is.
But they miss Keon and Dalton Kincaid for the Buffalo. They need them back. The Bills had 3 timeouts with a little over a minute left in the game, down 9. They're on the they're on the 1 yard line, and Tom Brady keeps saying he's like they have to punch it in here without using a timeout. They can go to defense, get a stop, use all three, get the ball back, and they have a chance. They run a tush push on the 1 yard line, and I don't disagree with the play call because it's Josh Allen. You think he's going to get in, and Josh Allen says, I have to get in there. That's on me. But the issue I have is you can't call the timeout. You have to tell your guys, run back to the line, run it again, because they called timeout and they did the same play. It's not like they drew up some masterpiece.
I hated the play call to begin with because they did the tush push earlier in the game, and I was like, who the fuck these guys think they're the Eagles? And they came back to it. For them to come back to it later in the game was kind of like foreshadowing. And I seen them lining up for it, and I was like, no way. You don't run the ball there. You have to pass it. Because and like you said, even if you do run it, it's like, all right, guys, in the huddle, this is not something you do after the play. In the huddle, you say, okay, we're running this tush push.
You got 2 plays called.
If we don't get it, we're coming right back to the huddle because this is our next play. You don't even call. You break the huddle with 2 plays called. And then for you to call the timeout to where you don't even give yourself a chance to, okay, we're going to kick it off to them, or we're going to do the onside kick, but if we don't get it, it's fine. We got our 3 timeouts. All we got to do is get a stop. Now you're relying on yourself to get the onside kick because you burned one of your timeouts. It was just terrible clock management and timeout use by the Bills. And
Kevin...
Go ahead.
Kevin Burkhardt is a phenomenal commentator, and he was at the end of the game. He was kind of just listening to Tom talk and like hearing what Tom was thinking as it was going on. Mm-hmm. And McDermott calls that timeout, and Tom was like low key pissed because he was like, now you're gonna have to get in the end zone here, and you're gonna have to rely on that 3% chance on an onside kick.
He mentioned that 3% so many times. 3%. So many times. Yeah, he did.
And then they get the touchdown and they do the onside kick, which is bogus that you have to announce you're doing an onside kick.
But it's like at that time in the game they would have known.
Then you had to, but
but any other point, and you can only do it fourth quarter. You got to announce it. It's terrible because you had Pat McAfee back in the day. I think it might have been in the Super Bowl or something like that, where he onside, or like it looks like they're gonna kick it off, but he just kicks it 10 yards and just drops on the ball, and it's like an onside that no one saw coming. But now you have to announce it, so it's definitely just some bullshit.
Yep. I don't have anything else to say about the game. If you do, go ahead.
As far as the Rams, I have some stats. They Matthew Stafford was he was elite in this game.
Yep.
They came into the game and they had been struggling on third down. They were only 33%. They only converted 33% of the time, but he was money on third down in this game. They were 11 for 15 on third down in this game. They were phenomenal. That catch that Puka had where he got his toes in bound. I was watching the Niners game. I flipped to the Rams game. I saw that play, and that's where I was like, bro, Puka might be fucking top 5 in the league, bro. He is so good, but his name doesn't often come up when you talk about CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, JJ, Jamar Chase. They never really mention him.
He was also hurt.
Yeah, he was. But talent-wise, there's not many better. He gets his feet in no matter what, it seems like. You think there's no way he's in bounds, and they show the replay, and it's like, holy shit. Like, when he caught that pass, they didn't challenge it. They didn't anything because it was like he was in. He was in. There's nothing to challenge. But yeah, a disappointing loss for the Bills. It felt like they were always just one step behind because it was never like they were one score out of it. It's like, okay, let's go score this. Let's go make it a 1-score game. Then we're back in it. But then the defense will come back onto the field and the Rams will go right down the field and score. And it's like, all right, Josh Allen, let's go score this touchdown. Again, put ourselves back into the game. It's like they were never going down to tie it. They were always going down to pull themselves back into the game. But their defense just kept on just giving it back up. So it just, I don't know, it was just rough. And for a defense that had been somewhat solid this season, it's not that they've been amazing, but they were nowhere near this bad. And for them to put on our performance to where you're letting up the Rams, who are a good offense, but to let them put up 44 points where your quarterback has 6 total touchdowns and you can't find a way to win the game is definitely tough.
Well, my dad pissed me off with this game, right? Because the Bills were down 9 or 12, whatever it was. Like you said, they got to score twice, and he goes, "This game's over." And we're watching the Bills Rams on the TV, and I got the Cavs Heat game on my laptop, and he gets the Cavs games, and he keeps saying, "This game's over." I'm like, you can never count the Bills out.
Yeah, Dark asked me, he was like, "Is the game over?" And I said, "No, Josh Allen is gonna pull them back into this game."
And the Rams scored again, and he goes, "I'm not watching this shit anymore. I'd rather watch the Cavs." So he turns the Cavs on, so I'm like, okay, whatever. He doesn't even like basketball, by the way. He fucking hates basketball. So I turn the Rams game on my laptop, and then he just gets up and walks away. why are you turning the TV if you're walking away anyway? So I turned the Bills big game back on the TV and turned the Cavs back on my
He's pissed.
No, I said the Bills scored and they were down 3 and I was like, Bills only down 3, and he walks back in as the game is over and he goes, "Oh, I told you it was over." Like, bro, leave me the fuck alone.
Speaking about him like that, and then saying earlier, you were talking about how he's a hater, man. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you watch football with him every Sunday. It sounds like
he's a hater, bro. but I absolutely adore Puka Nacua. I want to talk about him a second before we move on. Mm-hmm. Tom was asking him after the game. He was like, "I know your name's not Puka, so what's it stand for?" And I don't know if you saw him talking, but he gets a grin big as hell across his face, and he goes,
"He's always smiling. He's always smiling."
And he needs to grow the beard back, bro. He looked way better with the beard.
He looks good with the beard, but like you could say another man like Puka looks good when he has that beard and then the long hair for and he's always cheesing. Yeah, Puka definitely needs to get the beard back.
But he goes, Puka means fat or chubby, and my grandparents gave it to me when I was a kid. And Tom starts laughing, and he goes, "Oh, so you not Puka anymore? You got some Pukas up on that line with you, some of them big guys." And
all right, Brady.
Puka was like, "Yeah." But for him to have this absolutely incredible game and then to go to Twitter immediately after and post a picture of the balance bracelet and it was like, these things were a scam, they never worked anyway. He said they asked him about it and he was like, "What were you thinking about mid-game when you're going off for such a great game?" And he goes, "Man, to be honest, at one point Josh Allen was driving and I caught myself thinking about them balance bracelets and how they never worked anyways. And I look up and Josh Allen scoring again." It is like, Puka, lock in, bro.
Yeah.
And they also asked him how it feels being in the competition for the NFC West or something like that again, and because he had said he didn't know that they were in the NFC West, blah blah blah, and he kind of was just smirking. But yeah, great game of the week.
Yeah. Moving on. They do it again, man. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chiefs move to 12-1. The Chargers fall to 8-5. We talked about it earlier in the overreactions, man. I was like, because Matthew Wright, former Niner, he went to kick it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good, no matter." Like, come on, it's like a 31 yard, it's gonna be good. Then he kicked it, and I saw it going that way, going left, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna sneak in." Then I hear it bang off the upright. I'm like, "Holy shit, he missed it. And then I forget who was calling the game. Or it was Sunday Night Football, so it was Mike Tirico, and he's like, it's good. And I'm like, no fucking way. He banged it off the upright. How the fuck is it good? But it's just, that's why I said earlier, I'm just giving up, man. They're just gonna find a way. The Chargers, man. I talked about it. Their run game has not been good ever since JK's been out. They weren't able to run the ball against the Falcons last week. They didn't look good against the Chiefs this week. I said Justin Herbert's gonna have to be special. They were much better in the second half. They didn't do anything in the first half. They put up both their touchdowns in the second half of the game. Justin Herbert's gonna have to be elite if this team really wants to make some noise in the playoffs or upset someone. Because if they go into the playoffs looking the way they're looking right now, and this run game is looking the way it's looking, they're one and done. They're not gonna have any chance of beating anybody, because if you're just gonna have to rely on Justin Herbert putting up some special performance, teams aren't gonna allow that to happen. They're gonna sell out for the pass, not worry about your run game at all, because Gus Edwards is not efficient. He's really more so a receiving back. So if you're all just simply reliant on Justin Herbert, it's just not gonna work. And as far as the Chiefs,
did you say Gus Edwards is a receiving back?
Is that what I said? I meant to say.
You said he's a receiving
I don't know why.
back.
I was thinking about Justice Hill because he was a former Raven. I was thinking about Justice Hill, but Gus Edwards is more so their third down back and more so their blue.
He's just a power back.
Power back, yeah. I don't know, because he was on the Ravens. They have both the Ravens running backs, and I was thinking about Justice.
You just confused the hell out of me, bro.
Sorry. But as far as the Chiefs go, I want to come up here and say they can't do this again. Their offense has to be better, but I just really don't think it matters. I think Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, they're just inevitable at this point. No matter what they do in the regular season, doesn't matter, because they're just gonna just like that, and they're just gonna click and just snap into form when the playoffs come. Because for all that we have to say, for all that they haven't been good here, they haven't been great here, they haven't been doing this, they haven't been doing that, they have one loss and they're 12-1 up to this point. So how much does it really matter? I will say their pass rush hasn't been amazing. Yeah, they have Chris Jones, but outside of that, no one else has been able to generate much of anything. But Chris Jones is, I've said it earlier, I forget which episode I said it in, but I said he is so clutch. So when it comes down to it, I think they'll be just fine in the playoffs. I really don't think anything they do in the regular season matters up to this point. They can lose every single game.
Karlaftis is a beast.
He is, but their pass rush hasn't been able to do much of anything, is what I'm saying. But George Karlaftis is really good. He is. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't think anything else that they do in the regular season matters, because I think they are gonna three-peat and win the Super Bowl. They're just gonna find a way. They can win in so many different ways. And when it comes down to it, it could be a 0-0 game. But if Patrick Mahomes has the ball at the end of the game, he's going down the field and winning it.
I legitimately don't have anything to say about the Chiefs that I haven't said several times already this season. Until they do something that shocks me, I'm just going to come on here and say congratulations. Because
at this point, you can't question it anymore. They just keep on winning. They're just going to find a way.
Ladd McConkey ended up playing this game, and the Chargers tweeted out Harbaugh walking down the tunnel before the game coming out, and it just said "or" as the caption. I looked at it, and someone quote tweeted it. And dude, I sat there and laughed at this tweet for like 5 minutes straight, because Ladd's out and they haven't had much receiving this year, and it just says, "Congratulations, buddy, you're wide receiver 1 this week." It's
bad, man. It is bad. If this team needs to, they just got to put something around Justin Herbert, and he's been good up to this point.
And they've tried, bro. Yeah. Quentin Johnston was an early pick. You got Ladd McConkey early second.
Mm-hmm.
And Ladd McConkey has been great,
and I hope this isn't the case. It probably will be the case, even more so now. But when John Harbaugh was coaching for us, he had that quarterback coach duo that he just couldn't get past, which was Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. And it looks like he chose to go to the Chargers, and it looks like he's going to have to deal with the same thing, being Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I don't know if any team's going to be able to get past them, and I'm not blaming him, because it's Patrick Mahomes, probably the greatest of all time. And when you're with the Niners, you have to deal with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll 2 times a season. So it just sucks to see that he's going through this same cycle again, to where he's just going to have to play this great quarterback and coach duo that I don't know if he's going to be able to get past.
The Chargers drafted 2 legitimately good cornerbacks in the 5th round this year. Tarheeb still has been great overall all season. And then Cam Hart absolutely rocked D-Hop. D-Hop had that catch that he was coming down with near the red zone, and he just rocked him to make him drop in, and he's a tough hitter. We can move on to Monday Night Football. We got the 4-8 Bengals falling, or no, we got the 4-8 Bengals winning against the Dallas Cowboys. I had wanted the Cowboys to win. I've rooted for the Bengals all season, but they're out of it. They're not making the playoffs. Joe Burrow, I love you. I'll talk to you on Wednesday like we do every week. But the Cowboys had a chance still making the playoffs. As Joe has said, 10-7 can do it for you. That 8th loss is like a dagger to the chest. In the
coffin, yeah.
And I'm not going to say that Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott by any means, but
I would hope not.
I think that with either quarterback you have a chance back there. And he's my second favorite running back all time, only behind Adrian Peterson, who is literally my favorite running back of all time.
You say this every time you talk about Zeke, it's like, because you know you're about to say something negative about him. It's like you have to preface it by saying he's my second best quarterback, second favorite running back all time, only second to Adrian Peterson. He's my favorite, but and go ahead.
The fact that they used him so much to start the season is the reason they're where they're at right now. Rico Dowdle he's been very good again tonight.
Very good again, yeah. He's been very good these past few games.
And if you would have just let him be this early in the season, I think that they had a chance, and they just soiled it. And in this game, Burrow and Jamar played buddy ball all game. It was just those two, and fantasy football wise, I was 6-7 playing against a guy 6-7. We were the last spot for the playoffs, and I was up by like 50 points, projected to win pretty easily. And he had Joe Burrow and Jamar.
D Mills?
No.
Oh my goodness! I thought he passed you and got in. Holy shit!
No, he didn't have a chance. I won, so.
All right.
But I lost in that league, so I'm out of the playoffs now. So fuck you, Jamar.
No, dang that.
But that was like a $10 league, so it'll be all right. But the game is tied 20-20. 2-minute. It's after the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
The Bengals are punting.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas blocks the punt. Were you watching?
Yeah.
Dallas blocks the punt. And they're like shuffling around trying to get it, and they tip it, and they tip it, and they tip it, and the Bengals tip it, and the Bengals finally recover, and they get the ball back on some bullshit. They get a new set of downs.
No, it's not bullshit. It's the rules. It's the rules.
But it's still some bullshit. Like that's the rules.
I get it. For you to block it and then for them to just get the ball back, it's like you were better off just not blocking it at all. You were better off just letting him kicking it off, punting it. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
But Jamar goes for a 40-yard touchdown, wins the game. Joe's all happy after the game.
Yeah, I was so happy for him. I was so happy for him watching that post-game interview, man. He was finally able to smile and, you know.
I don't know who it is. If you're watching this episode, whoever commented last episode saying, "This is Joe Burrow, I'll come on the podcast." Bro, I was laughing so hard. But shout out to the Bengals. Maybe win the last several games and end up what 6-8 or 6-8? Holy shit, 9-8.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not gonna make the playoffs, but just have some fun at the end of your season. Walk away with a smile, going to Cancun with a smile. But yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Zeke Elliott, man. They really,
not too much
for you to not bring in any star running back. For you to say Rico Dowdle is gonna be our guy, fine. But for you to come in and say Zeke Elliott, we're gonna rely on you. That's just. I can't let that slide. That is just terrible management. They had a chance late in this game, but Cooper Rush they had a chance to go on that game time drive, but Cooper Rush just missed a couple of passes. He was low on one, high on the other. Just wasn't a great game by him. But Joe Burrow continues to do his thing. They showed off the stats. He was leading the league in everything coming into this week. So shout out to Joe Burrow. Shout out to Jamar Chase. Chase Brown has been so good for them in the passing game, especially. It seems like he can take a 1-yard dump off, and take it for 20 yards whenever you ask him to. And they were talking about it a lot because Chase Brown has been a lot of, not so much this game, but he's been a lot of not efficient. It's like a rush for 2 yards, a rush for 3 yards, a rush for 4 yards. Then it's a one rush for 35 yards, and it's back to a rush for 3, 4. But to see him have a game where he was kind of consistent throughout, it wasn't an amazing game, but just to be able to give them consistent yardage and not those just 1 and 2 yard games was good to see. But it sucks because this would have been a game if both teams were healthy and where they expected to be. This would have been probably game of the week. But two teams that had high expectations for them to come in and, just have nothing to play for.
Games.
Why has there not been a single flex game this season yet? What is going on?
There has.
Which game was flexed?
The Broncos got flexed.
Like a future game or a previous, like a game that already happened?
I think it already happened. I think that happened last week.
What game got flexed into the spot? Last week?
No, I think Broncos got flexed into the spot.
For Monday Night Football versus the Browns?
No, maybe it was a week. There has been a flex, but there hasn't been enough. Why?
Yeah,
it's week 14. It's getting down to the important part of the schedule. Why am I watching either of these teams? And shout out to Joe, but literally, it just doesn't matter.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. Like the Seahawks Cardinals, this for what it meant, it could have been this game. The Bills Rams could have been this game. The Browns Steelers, I would have took over this. Chiefs Chargers, I was gonna say, but it was Sunday Night Football, so I guess that's fine. But yeah, there are definitely other options. But
before I get into my quarterback rankings,
yep.
I don't know if you saw Derrick Henry cut his hair.
I hope this is gonna sound stupid, but it's like I hope he didn't cut the dreads off, and it's like he's not the same guy. I know it sounds dumb, but it's like I hope he didn't cut the dreads, and he's just not the same guy. So I saw it's gonna be weird not seeing Derrick Henry, especially like the big ass, the big ass dread just tied all together coming out the back. It's gonna be weird, but it was a cool little look. He had the nice little braids. It was a cool look.
I hope he doesn't stick with the braids. I just want to see him have it poofed out. I think that'd be sick. He won't do it though.
He should have just stuck with the dreads.
All right, that's all we got for the review this week, though. Catch us again Friday with our preview. I'll get into my quarterback.
Do we want to do Thursday night preview now before your quarterbacks? It's Rams Niners. I'm taking the Niners, obviously, because we need the win.
I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, we know. We fucking know. Go ahead.
It's going to be tough for the Niners to stop this offense because they've just been rolling.
It's going to be tough for them to stop George Kittle and Juwan Jennings.
Not really.
Like, that's just some fucking hating ass shit. But go ahead with your fucking... Your fucking
George Kittle, Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. Why the fuck are we at an hour 50? Dog, I swear I started this right when we there was no bullshit.
I know.
Bro, what?
I was trying to rush a couple times, but then you kept talking, and then
Bro, you should have texted me, and I would have got it going. I would have just rapid fired some shit, bro. This is gonna be our
don't matter.
And we talked about it before. It's like, man, this is gonna be a quick one, not much to say, and this is already our longest one. But go ahead.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I got Matt Stafford at 11 this week. I so badly wanted to put him top 10.
First time even being mentioned, huh? Like not even an honorable mention he's been before, right? Shout out to Matt Stafford.
I do top 15 every week just so I could have like I only mentioned top 10, but yeah. And I had Stafford 11, Justin Herbert 12, and then Brock Purdy at 13.
Where was Brock last week?
Not top 10. He was 13 last week.
What were you gonna say about Brock? You were gonna say something?
It was great this week, but
he was very, very good. I thought he would crack back into the top 10, but all right, that's fine.
At number 10, we do have a new guy though.
Oh, hasn't made the list before, first time.
Hasn't even been thought of. I said it earlier in the episode when we talked about their game. He's been easily top 10. If he wouldn't have got put on IR for his concussion, Tua Tagovailoa has been amazing, dude.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
That's fair. That's very fair. That is very, very fair. I can't say anything about it. We talked about earlier in the season with Jordan Love, saying Jordan Love would have been higher, but he just hasn't played. So Tua hasn't played or didn't play because of that concussion, but ever since he's came back, he's been on a whole nother level. That offense has been amazing. So shout out to Tua. He's been balling.
Yep.
Balling.
At number 9, I have Geno Smith.
Yeah, shout out to Geno. Has the Seahawks looking like they're gonna win a division. He just wills them to a win every week. Shout outs to you, Geno.
And Geno's not like a top talented guy, but he's gonna be anywhere from 8 to 15. If you got him anywhere in there, cool enough. I like Geno a lot, and I think what he's doing with his mediocre roster is pretty cool. At number 8, I hate to say it, he's fallen out of his spot. He had a reserved location.
Pat, no, he was holding.
At number 8, I have Pat Mahomes.
He was holding down the number 7 spot. Man, sucks to see. I wonder who jumped above him. Who moved to 7?
At number 7, I have Jared Goff.
Okay, I like it. I think Jared Goff. I said this earlier in the season. Jared Goff should be making that push back. I think he should be making the push back up the list. He was
6th last week.
I see he fell. Yeah, I think he should be pushing back up the list. But I was saying that earlier. Then he went and had 5 interceptions. Then he was nowhere near that top 5 anymore. But I think he should be
back up again.
Yeah, now I think he should be working his way back up. He's been very, very good.
Number 6. I hate to penalize him for being on a bye, but at number 6, I have Jaden Daniels.
That's fair. And I think I know who moved up, and rightfully so. He deserved it. Sam Darnold is number 5.
Yep.
Rightfully so. He threw 5 touchdowns. He's at number 5. So he played his ass off. He's been playing his ass off.
At number 4, he's trying to make his parking spot like Pat Mahomes had for weeks. At number 4, I once again have Baker Mayfield.
I think Sam Darnold should leapfrog Baker Mayfield, especially coming off of this week. I think Sam Darnold should be above Baker.
It could have been.
Baker just wasn't very good. He started off pretty decent, then had a super bad rough patch. But I think this is fine for now. We get to the top 3. We know who the top 3 have been. I said this last week. I went like this. With this performance that he's had, there is no way has changed.
Where it gets complicated.
It has to have changed. It has to have.
Because I love all 3 guys very dearly. Obviously, Lamar Jackson is a top 2 player in the league for me. It's him and Stephon Diggs. At number 3, I unfortunately once again, even though they pulled off a win, I once again have Joe Burrow.
You said this with Jaden Daniels. You don't want to penalize him for having a bye. But Lamar wasn't amazing before the bye, then had the bye. Joe Burrow has continued to do what he's been doing. So I if this were my list, I honestly would have had Lamar at 3.
I couldn't penalize him that much.
Yeah,
I can't drop him 2 spots, but I did drop him 1. At number 2, I have Lamar Jackson.
Thank you. And I love to hear that, not because I just wanted Lamar to drop, but because I know you're a Lamar guy. So I'm glad to see that you were able to drop him, because I think Josh Allen has been on his ass for the past 5 weeks. It's felt like he's been right there. And last week I literally went like this, and then Josh Allen went out and had 6 touchdowns. Lamar, sorry, you could have had a 5 touchdown game, but you were just on a bye. So it's not your fault, but Josh Allen went out there and played his ass off. But like I said, Lamar wasn't great, had 2 kind of subpar games, then the bye week. So I would have dropped him to 3 and then had Burrow at 2, Josh Allen at 1, but I'm fine with the way the list ended up.
Fair enough. I mean, Josh Allen is number 1, so.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all that matters. MVP?
No.
Saquon Barkley?
I would give it to Saquon Barkley, okay. But I think Lamar is still in the conversation. I think it's Lamar or Josh Allen. They're not giving it to a running back.
They're not giving it to Saquon Barkley, but I think the 3 in order should be Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Lamar Jackson. But it's gonna come. They're gonna put Saquon Barkley, like when they do the award show, the NFL award, whatever it's called. They're gonna have Saquon Barkley up there, show his highlights, knowing damn well they're not gonna give it to him. So it's really gonna come down to Allen and Lamar, I think, and I think they're gonna end up giving it to Allen.
They could. Voter fatigue and shit.
Yeah.
That's all we got for you this week, though. Long episode. We apologize for that. No, I don't think we can afford small talk today. Unless you want to hit 2 hours,
There was nothing I had to talk about. That's what I was asking you.
Okay. No, if we were running a little short like we had thought we would, I would have brought something.
Did you have something? If you have something, just throw it out.
No, we're good. 2 hours is
Did
nuts.
you have something written down for small talk?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I just didn't want you to have something written down and be like, oh, we're already at 2 hours. I'm not going to say it now.
If it was something that I wanted to bring up, I would have brought it up even if we were at 3:15. I was bringing up small talk last week because I would whoop your ass.
I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I don't know how it managed to be our longest one. And like I said earlier before, we said there's not going to be much to talk about. We thought it was going to be one of our quicker episodes, but it's fucking 2 hours long. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
I would like to say that if you're still watching these episodes, we appreciate you very much. We love y'all. Come off season, we're going to be really on our grind. And not to say we haven't been this year, but next year, numbers are going up. Our numbers have been on a steady decline a little bit the last few weeks, which is understandable. Less to talk about in the NFL. It's kind of what you're expecting at this point. Mm-hmm. We're coming into our sophomore year next year. If you're rocking with us now, we love you because
it's just our rookie season, and there will be no sophomore slump. There will not be. We won't hit that sophomore slump. You know, we hit our rookie wall, but there will be no sophomore slump for us. We're going straight from rookie of the year. We're going into the MVP conversation.
Tyler Hero, all-star. Love y'all.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.